Hello, everyone. My name is David Schmidt, and I am the CEO and founder of LifeWave. And I would like to take this opportunity to extend my thanks and appreciation to Dr. Effie Chow and Dr. Jack Fu for inviting me to speak at your conference. Today, I am going to be. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is David Schmidt, and I am the CEO and founder of LifeWave. And I would like to take this opportunity to extend my thanks and appreciation to Dr. Effie Chow and Dr. Jack Fu for inviting me to speak at your conference. Today, I am going to be addressing the subject of light therapy and phototherapy, and talking about how we can use this technology to activate the stem cells in the body and improve the flow of energy, the flow of chi, and also, of course, how we can use this to improve the body's healing response. You're going to find this very interesting as another avenue of using energy to heal the body. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So this is a stem cell technology, but unlike the type of stem cells that you might be normally thinking about, where stem cells are injected into the body from an external source, what we're going to be talking about today is how to use light to activate the stem cells that already exist inside of the human body. What's so interesting about this is that there have been recent studies to show that stem cells exist in the meridians themselves. So, for example, when we might stimulate stomach 36 or large intestine 4, we're in fact liberating stem cells through the meridian and open up channels by which the stem cells can travel to the organs that need healing and repair. So we already know that stimulating acupuncture points in the meridian will stimulate the organ that they're associated with. But what's interesting is that this same stimulation may in fact lead to stimulation and activation of stem cells. Now, the issue, though, is that as we age, the stem cells in our body age with us. And the stem cells, we can just think of them as being universal cells that create all the other cells in our body. And if our stem cells are aging, that means their ability to heal and repair the body declines with age as well. But what if there was a way that we could get the stem cells that already exist in our body to act and behave like younger, healthier cells? It turns out that this is possible through light therapy. And by using light therapy to elevate a peptide called GHK-Cu. So we're going to be talking more about that today. So here's the problem. We age and the stem cells age with us. They begin to slow down. They release less growth factors, which are required for repairing damaged tissue in the body. And after we get into our mid-70s, eventually there's virtually no more stem cells in the body. Now, scientists have been looking at alternatives to this process. Maybe we can take young, healthy cells and inject them. This is certainly being done, but it's expensive. There are risks associated with this. Sometimes the stem cells can attack healthy tissue. And sometimes, because of chronic inflammation, the stem cells don't have any type of beneficial outcome. They don't do what they were intended. And most countries around the world, in the United States, European Union, and Japan, for example, really advanced stem cell treatments are not approved yet. they haven't passed scientific scrutiny. So what can we do today? Is there anything that we can do to take advantage of stem cell technology today? And there is. We've been working for more than 10 years to develop this technology and have received over 70 patents globally in the field of stem cell science and regenerative medicine. So we've put in a tremendous amount of work into this field of study. Some of the early work that we did was in conjunction with the National University of Ireland in Galway. Now, they are in the top 2% of universities globally when it comes to stem cell research. We were very fortunate to have been able to make a presentation to their Regenerative Medicine Institute, and as a result, we received funding from Scientific Foundation Ireland to proceed with these stem cell studies. Now, this is a piece of technology that I invented and we developed at our laboratories in San Diego, California. And this was our first attempt to naturally activate the stem cells that already exist in the body. This device produces an electromagnetic field and a longitudinal field. And as you can see, it is a double helix, and this is intended to mimic the natural energy form that exists around human DNA. And it produces some very novel effects. Now, we've performed, of course, laboratory studies, or in vitro studies, animal studies, and human studies. One of the studies that we did with rabbits, we were looking to see if we could accelerate wounds that were on their ear, diabetic ulcers. And this is what the ulceration looks like. And in our first attempt, we found that using electromagnetic fields, that we would be able to significantly improve the rate of healing as compared to a control that got no type of therapy. And we hit statistical significance. What's so interesting about this is that when you apply stem cells topically, MSC stem cells, to these wounds, they heal at exactly the same rate as when they're treated by an external electromagnetic field. In other words, you don't have to inject stem cells into the body. What we found is that using energy, we can activate the stem cells and the innate healing abilities that already exist in the human body. And this may partially explain why Qigong and natural healing methods are so powerful, because we're moving energy. And we know from squid magnetometer research that Qigong practitioners produce enormous electromagnetic fields in their hands. So this is an interesting area of research for natural healers. Maybe what we're finding is that the natural, intense electromagnetic fields emitted by Qigong practitioners activates the body's stem cells. Now, this is an organism that we deal with in our laboratories called a planaria, and it's a flatworm. And what's amazing about the planaria is that you can cut off their head, and in 17 days, they will regrow another head. The entire genome of the planaria is mapped and understood. So if we can improve the rate at which the planaria heal, we may be able to apply this to human beings. Using this technology, we were able to regenerate the heads of these worms in only 8 days. So that's a remarkable improvement. But as we continued to do work with this technology, we found that we could regenerate the heads of the planaria in less than 1 day. So the direction that this is going in is that this form of energy medicine is extraordinarily powerful. And one day we hope to see this technology in hospitals so we can use this energy medicine to facilitate very rapid wound healing in human beings. But the problem is that this technology is expensive, and we want to make stem cell science available to everyone today. So how can we do that? Well, we're going to do this with another form of energy, and that would be light therapy. So of course we know light is very high frequency electromagnetic energy, so this makes sense. And light has been used for thousands of years in natural healing. We're just going to apply the light therapy in a different way using a different technology. Instead of using a lamp or a bank of LEDs, this light therapy is embodied in the form of a patch. The patch contains organic crystals, and the crystals in the patch are activated by body heat. The patch is applied to the body. Now, this can be applied to different acupuncture points. So if you wanted to stimulate the lungs or the stomach, you could apply this to lung 1 or stomach 36 or wherever you like. If you'd like to apply it locally to the site of a wound that you wanted to support the healing, you could do that as well. But what we found in practical terms is that this is a systemic effect. So for example, you could apply the patch to the lower dantian, and you'll find that the light therapy in the patch will stimulate the entire body. So here's an example here where we apply the patch to the skin. It stimulates the skin with light. And now this is going to cause a biochemical change in the body. One way to think about this is we go out in the sun, and sunlight will cause our body to make vitamin D. This is a process called photobiomodulation, and it simply explains how light can cause chemical changes in the body. This is really exciting news for the energy medicine community, because for the past 10 years now, we can describe biochemically how light energy interacts with the human body. So in other words, we stimulate the skin with light. It causes an increase in cytochrome C oxidase. This affects energy transport in the electron transport chain. And now as a result, we get upregulation of ATP production in the mitochondria. So energy medicine, in fact,